Hello, welcome back to No Rules, Random Thoughts of a Swiftie. I am your host, Brianna Peters. Before I get started today, I did want to say a special hello to Emmeline, to Bennett, and to Sadie. Just in case you're watching, those are my nieces and nephew. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for being supportive and for always listening and partaking in what I'm doing. I love you. Okay, so for everybody else, I do actually love you as well. Thank you so much for everything. I was actually able to get my channel monetized on Christmas Day. I had enough subscribers, I had enough watch hours to make that happen, and that is so exciting. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I've already made 73 cents on this channel, so it's big things, you guys. It's big things. It actually really is, like, to be serious for a second, I have been creating content on and off, mostly on YouTube, for 10 years. And this is the first channel that I've ever been able to monetize. I should have known, just talk about Taylor Swift and it will happen. There's so many Swifties out there. So yeah, very exciting stuff. Today we're going to continue on with our discussion and our deep dive into the next 3 tracks of the life of a showgirl. Before I do that, I did want to just say that I watched all of the Disney documentary. So good. So many thoughts. I feel like I really need to I want to watch it all again, like one right after another. And also because it was just like a crazy time with holidays and travel. And it's like, I watched it. I don't know that I like got everything from it that I needed to. So I'm going to watch it again. I'm going to put detailed notes together. And I think that will probably be after my last one about the life of a showgirl, the tracks. I'll do that one next because I think there's just so much to say about that. But I want to make sure I'm just like well prepared. So, but I loved it. I mean, yeah, I think in general, like seeing Taylor in that light is insane. And, she's given us, you know, it's funny. You can think about like the life of a showgirl roll out and you're like, oh, I'm so sad we didn't get to see her perform any of the songs. You might think about some of the things that we didn't get, but I'm thinking about all the things we did get. And like Taylor really did a lot for this show, for this album. Like all of the guest appearances on the radio shows and the talk shows. And then obviously the life of a showgirl, the final performance, and then the documentary, and her going onto the podcast and talking for 2 hours straight. Like we don't get Taylor Swift in that way often, or especially like previous to Life of a Showgirl for the last like 8 years prior to that. Like we didn't really get a lot of Taylor Swift and just her and talking and her feeling comfortable enough to do that with us. So yeah, I've really been happy with this rollout and how much we've gotten that isn't necessarily, you know, music videos and you know, a tour or anything like that. Maybe some of the standard things. So just in general, I loved it. I can't wait to do more of a deep dive on that. And I just want to let you guys know that it is coming. But we have to keep going because this album is just so good. And I have to go 3 tracks at a time. So today we're going to be going over tracks 7, 8, and 9. So actually Romantic, Wishlist, and Would. And I've put all my notes together, as you know that I do, to help keep me on track. So we're just going to start with actually Romantic. And I will never forget hearing this for the first time, which is in my reaction video. And I'm just trying to process. I'm like, who is this girl talking about? Because none of this is making sense to me. And it's just funny because I kind of, in general, I knew about the Charlie XCX drama. I did not know the details, obviously. Like clearly I was not putting the pieces together. And you know, as much as I knew about the Charlie XCX drama was that, you know, Charlie had gone as an opener on the tour, on the Reputation tour with her. And then that there had been like a falling out, but I didn't exactly ever know why. I never understood. I never got the like second half of that story. And so none of it really ever made sense to me. So when I, you know, filmed that and then put it out, and then it was just everywhere. It was in my comments. It was online. It was like the explanation of what had happened. I was like, oh my gosh, I'd never known this. So I have a story to tell you before I get into my my deep dive. Okay. So I never really was like a fan of Charlie XCX's music. Maybe there was some like underlying thing because I felt like I knew that Charlie had maybe done that article or something, and they kind of like, I don't know if it's exactly what she said or they twisted her words, or maybe it was a bit of both, but like, you know, just kind of like Taylor Swift fans performing for like 5-year-olds or whatever it is that she said. I was kind of like, ugh, I didn't love that. And so maybe that like held some place in my head, and I never really got into Charlie's music. But just in general, like, I'm not a huge fan of like house club music. Like I'm not a house club girl. So, you know, it didn't really hit for me. When her last album, I don't even know what it's called, came out, Apple? I don't know. Anyways, the lime green one, there were like a couple songs on there that are like, just, you know, good. They're just good songs. But other than the ones that were like singles and that were released, I hadn't listened to the album. I have a staff member here. Her name is Brianne. I am Brianna. She's Brianne. And she's a fan of Charlie, like big fan of Charlie. And we were talking about music, and she obviously knows about Taylor because I talk about her every single day of my life. And she knows that I do the podcast. So we were talking, and I was like, what if I put together like a list of songs that I think from Taylor you might like, because she's never really gotten into Taylor. And she's like, no problem. So I did that for her. I made it. She listened. And then we were talking about Charlie. I was like, you know what? It's only fair that I listen to Charlie because you listen to Taylor. So I listened to the album, that last one. Again, don't remember what it's called. And okay, what drama? My Lord. Trying to have this not be in the way, but also so I don't spill it again, because that was insane. Okay, to get back into it, I listened to the album, and there was one song on there that I actually favorited on like Spotify, so that way it would appear in like songs that I favorited, and it would play it again. And I just saved the one song. Even like the Apple and like all those other like singles that she released, I just wasn't like a huge fan of. But there was one song I was like, oh my God, this song is so good. I love it. Why was it Sympathy is Like a Knife? Why did I heart and favorite the one song that I had no idea was about Taylor Swift? I think my love of Taylor Swift runs so deep that somewhere in my brain, I knew that that song was about her, and that's why I liked it. You honestly could not convince me otherwise. I don't care if it's true or not, but like, I had no idea about the Charlie drama. I listened to the entire album, and there's one song that I like, and it's the What About Taylor Swift? Are you kidding me? So anyways, hilarious. Once I figured all of that out, once like the album, The Life of a Showgirl came out and I listened, and then, you know, all the past and the tea and stuff was spilt, I tell you what, I had a field day here when I realized that that was the one song about Taylor Swift, and that was the only one I liked from the album. Insane. Okay, so I'll just get into my notes. For the song, I really do like this song. I like it. It's a little bit stylistically like a break and a change up from the album. It's, you know, the album is very like 70s and bass and groove and synthy. And this is like straight late 90s, early 2000s punk rock. But I do like it. I like the sound. I think it helps break up the album a little bit in general. And the high-fived my ex and then you said you're glad he ghosted me. If this was actually said in real life, if Charlie said these words to Maddie about how good of a job he did at being a piece of trash towards her, she's a piece of trash for saying that. Like, if that was said, I have no idea. We can make guesses and speculations all day, every day, but how would Taylor figure that out or find that out, that she had said that to him when clearly she's not running in that circle anymore? Don't know. And you know, some of this too, like, could be taken from like the song, like Charlie's song, some of these things in here, but this would not be one of them. So again, not sure if it was actually said or not, and if Taylor like got wind of it somehow. But if it was real, that's so trashy. That's so trashy to say to someone's ex, how they ghosted her and broke her heart. And you're like, love it. Love how you ended that. And I was like, ew, gross. To want someone to hurt and be in so much like pain is weird. It's just straight up weird. And I think that's kind of like what this song very specifically is getting to. It's like, wow, you were so obsessed with me that I have no choice but to see it as like romantic and sweet, because nobody else is spending this much time on me. It's only you, babe. So again, if that was real, ew, gross. I said, I still attest this is by far my favorite form of petty from Taylor Swift. Like, I said that in the album review, which is like, this is such a cool way to look at this dynamic, because Taylor has done petty songs. She's done, revenge songs and all these things in all these different forms. They come in a lot of different ways. Some of them are slow, some of them are mid-tempo, some are high. And it's like, I mean, really from like Speak Now on, from what I know, I'm sure there's more before that I haven't really dug into the lore about, but I mean, in general, this is my favorite form of it. It's just this ability to not turn a phrase, but like turn a situation from, you could see it as any way you want, and she's choosing to see it this way. And it's my favorite. Like, I think I even put my notes like, talk down to them. Like, the way Taylor is sitting up high in her queendom in this, and like kind of like talking down to like, oh my gosh, like you're just like a little toy chihuahua barking at me, aren't you? That's my favorite. Are you kidding me? Like, she earned that status. Use that status, babe. For this, love it. The way Taylor sings Actually Sweet and Honestly Wild is so good. That is so much ear candy right there. Like, those two lines, every time she sings that, is so good. The second verse of You Think It Comes Off Vicious, but It's Precious, Adorable, actually hits harder for me than the toy chihuahua line for some reason. Like, it is a great line. I will say that, but I don't know. I feel it so much harder in that first one of just being like, you think you're coming off vicious, and the way I perceive it is just so precious. Like, again, it is such a turn of phrase, and so like turning this situation on its head and viewing it from Taylor's point of view, which she has chosen to view it as this like a little bit pathetic, you know what I mean? Like, not even a little bit, it's just straight up pathetic, is my absolute favorite. I think this song is very directed towards a person. Obviously, there's so much specific. The boring Barbie, Coke's got you brave, high five my ex, you said you're glad he ghosted me, why is your boyfriend say we're always talking about her? Like, very specific lines that now that I know more, I can attribute back to something. But I did put in here that I do feel like it also does include a lump of people from her past, like the Valentines, like you're sending me funny Valentines, and how that was used in some of the prep for the rollout of The Life of a Showgirl. Is very Kim coded, and in general, I just feel like Scooter, Kim, Charlie, like these people, I even put in here like Billy and Phineas. I don't even want to get into that whole thing, like, honestly, gross. But like these people who kind of keep using Taylor, either calling her out very directly, or, the Billy and Phineas thing of like, who would want a 3-hour tour? Ew, gross. We're not doing that. Like, we're so much better. No, like Taylor knows that like these people really just try to direct this attention in a bad way towards her, and the fact that she uses this song to flip it on its head is one of my favorite things. I said, I love the sound of stop talking dirty to me and feels like you're flirting with me. Those two lines again, the way that she's like, stop talking dirty to me. So good. I love the I mind my business, God's my witness, because of course she does. You do not see Taylor Swift out here randomly bringing people up in a bad way or in a negative way into like starting some public beef with them. Like, she does not do that. She really minds her business. It's when these other fucking fools come into the town and all of a sudden just want to talk about her or bring her up for what reason? I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, I just, in general, I'm like, I love that line because she really does just mind her business until she needs to speak on it or do something about it, which honestly does not happen that often. But with the whole Scooter thing, like obviously, and the Kim thing, like you lied. She had to talk about these things. We cannot talk about this song and without talking about how, despite Wood being a track on this album, that her most X-rated lyric actually comes from this song of, it's kind of making me wet. Like on an album that includes Wood with all of its sexual innuendos, the most horny, lovely X-rated line we got was from Actually Romantic. And that is so funny. It was so unexpected. And just like, that's what makes it so good. And it's like, there's this theme of this song and that just takes it like straight down all the way where you can't deny what this is about. You know what I mean? Like, because it's so intense of a line, which I love. I said, Taylor actually said that line. Like I don't think we're getting how intense that is. I know my girl is in her late 30s, do not give a fuck era, because she included that line, which I relate to very hard. I'm 38 and you just kind of, you do get to a place where it's like, I don't care. I'm going to say the things and I'm going to do the things. And I think this feeling only intensifies as you get older from what I've heard. It's like when you reach your 40s and your 50s and your 60s, it's like your level of caring and giving a fucks goes down hardcore. So yeah, I love it. I think it has evolved over time, like her including more curse words and her dipping her toes into, you know, more like sexual references and stuff. Like this is all just kind of like stacked upon each other to lead us to this moment where Allison Swift says in a song that someone's obsessive thoughts about her and trying to bring her down and ruin her is actually making her wet. Ma'am, that is so good. Yeah, I don't know. It's just my random last thought on this is just the fact that she ends this song with a shoe bop bop. Why does she end this song with a shoe bop bop? Like, I don't know. It is so random. And it just, for some reason, like really all parts of this song are like funny in different ways, but you just get to this like point at the end of the song where you're like, did that just happen to this song? And to end it with a shoe bop bop is, I'll never know how she came up with that because I don't think we got to see that part of it in the documentary, but like 10 out of 10, no notes. How else would you kind of, I guess, end a song like this other than a shoe bop bop? Like Taylor is a genius and I just love her so much. And she's so funny. Like I just, in general, love it for so many reasons, this song. It's really good. Do I think it's not my like most favorite song on the album, but it's definitely one of the higher contenders of songs. And I do listen to it often. And fun fact, I don't know if it still is. I'll have to check in with him. But like shortly after this album came out, I listened to it a ton, obviously. And I asked Matt, my husband, I was like, what do you think? Like, what is your favorite? And he's like, oh, Actually Romantic is like my favorite song on that album. And I was like, yes, it's so good. I was like, I think he would probably still say it's one of his favorites. But we got to move on. We got to get to the next one because I have more notes. And the next one is Wishlist. I love this song so much, by the way. I love it so much. And I know this album provides like some people some like maybe cringe moments or like lyrics that they're not 100% like vibing with. I think that's okay. I think it is okay to like maybe not get why she used a lyric. Like I have my own lyrics from this album that I'm like, I don't get it. Or like, I don't relate to it. Or I don't understand why she put it in this song in this way, XYZ. That is okay. It is okay to not understand or to not vibe or to not get it. I think it's something else to choose to see something negatively or like to not try to understand is a different thing. There's the act of like not understanding something, but then choosing to not dive deeper or try to see her opinion or not see the other side of things. Like That's where it kind of gets muddy for me. And people who are not Swifties, people who are just like surface level Taylor Swift fans, or people trying to chase clout for, you know, the views that being a Taylor Swift hater will get you, or criticizer. Sorry, I think the one I'm thinking about is Swiftologist or whatever. Like you cannot convince me he's a Taylor Swift fan. He's a Taylor Swift criticizer. And sometimes Taylor Swift will do something that he likes or appreciates, but that's not a Swiftie. Come on. No. Anyways, kind of back to this song. I love that she's like, all of that shit that they want, that is fine. Good for them. And I actually hope they get it. But it all comes back to a very simple thought that I just want you. Everything else could go away. And as long as we had each other, we would be good. And I love that. I love that for a theme and for a song. Her like high head voice and have a couple kids, got the whole block looking like you is every song on this album has a moment where just her voice does something that is scratching my brain, scratching my ears. It's so good. And that's it for me. It's that high head voice moment of just like, have a couple of kids. Like, stop. I can't. I said, my God, Taylor, I'm just like always still shocked on how she comes up with new melodies. And it is like, if there was like 3 main things about Taylor Swift, the brand, the musical artist, that blows me away, it's that. It's the ability that in her head, just floating around in her noggin, are melodies and new ways of singing things and new lyrics coming up. Like, I'll never understand that level of genius, and thank God, because I think it's this like mystical thing I can't wrap my head around, but it's what creates this feeling of her being such a magnificent type of person, like her on a pedestal for me, honestly. Yeah. All right. So anyways, back to my notes. I said, dreaming about a basketball hoop in the driveway is really sweet, but honestly, it's kind of sad because that seems so unrealistic for her and Travis. And I said, if you think about her life and his, there is a lot of amazing things that they have, of course, but having a normal life that a lot of us live is a thing they kind of dream about having. And in a way that's really nice, like for us, because most of us are not Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce level. So our lives, maybe to us, may seem like mundane or boring, but they wish sometimes they had our lives, like a portion of our lives that we then on our side, we're like looking at them wishing we had their lives. You know what I mean? So what a fantastic reminder, I guess, is that we have something that Taylor Swift doesn't have. And we have the ability to appreciate that now in this moment and think like literally the world's greatest pop star, the world's like one of the richest, you know, pop stars and media personalities wants something that we have on a daily basis. That's crazy. Yeah. Anyways, just something crazy to think about. I said the way she says, I thought I had it right once, twice, but I did not. Like the not. I love how she emphasizes that. It's like, that may be the most relatable lyric in this entire album. We have all been there, have we not? Where we were like really excited about something, got something started up and it's like, oh, that's not it. This is not it. This is not what I thought it was. And the "you caught me off my guard" I think hits very, very hard because knowing Taylor Swift and how she has to operate her life, like planning it years in advance, always being on guard for being called out or hated from the president to Kim Kardashian to like, she's always just has to be on guard and ready and prepared. And for her to say, "you caught me off my guard," that has to mean so much for her to say that because she's never really caught off her guard. You know what I mean? I mean, not recently. So I just thought that was a sweet way to incorporate him specifically because he kind of came in from left field. She was not expecting him. She was not looking for him. He really like came in out of nowhere and just caught her off her guard in the best way. Love that for her. The famous Taylor Swift scream lyric, "taking us out of the bridge," is just is so good. It's classic, and I will never get over it. I will never not love a Taylor Swift screaming the last line, taking us out of the bridge. It is so good. She's like, I just want you. And she's screaming. My favorite. I love it so much. The last thing I wanted to say about this song, and specifically, is the lyric, boss up, settle down. I've seen some discourse on this, and I just saw it in such a different way, which is bossing up. Taylor Swift has done. Like, she still has so much more to go. I don't want to create any sort of like thought that like she's done for by any means. No, it's just she has happened to reach a level of fame and success that is kind of unheard of for someone at her age. And especially being a woman in the music industry, like to have that longevity that she's had, and she's still so young. It's like the bossing up, and respectfully for Travis as well in his industry. I know that like he's towards like the retirement age now, but like throughout his career, he has done so much. He's one of the best tight ends in the NFL, point blank period. And for both of them to have had so much success in their lives already, the bossing up is something that they've gotten. Now I can see where they want to do the settling down part, because I just don't think that's bad. I don't think it's a bad thing to want to settle down. That's what Taylor said in the radio interview when the guy was like, well, everybody thinks this means that you're exiting. You're never going to like do music again. She's like, that's not why people get married. So they don't have to ever work again. Like, that's what a ridiculous thing to assume and to project and to put onto her. Like, settling down does not have to mean a bad connotation. Like, they both have done so much in their careers. Like, of course they want to focus on the love and the relationship aspect and the marriage and perhaps kids and like all the things that would come with that is included in this song. Like, I have to say this last thing, because I did see a video where someone was like talking about like the feminism of it all. Y'all need to get off of that. I'll say it one time. Feminism is giving the women the right to choose to do whatever they want to do. That's feminism. Feminism is not shaving your armpits and having a corporate job and never getting married because marriage is the devil. No, it can be that if that's what she chooses. It also can be being a mother, and it also can be being a stay-at-home mom and quitting your corporate job. It can be quitting being a stay-at-home parent to go have a corporate job. Like, do you understand what feminism is? Feminism is giving the women the right to choose to do what they want with their lives, not they have to live their lives a certain way, the way I want to live my life. That's feminism. No, it's really gross to me to take someone who is so powerful, so successful as a woman and try and degrade her for potentially wanting this aspect of her life and make her feel bad for that. No, gross. Ew. Feminism is choice. I will never get behind that. Yeah, I think we got to move on, because I will get really worked up if we keep talking about that. So we're moving on to Wood. Wood, come on. Wood is a wild song. This song is like too much in all the best ways. I love the sound. The groove is so good. It's so good. I love the sound of this. I was just saying, most of this song, like I would say like at least halfway through and a little bit more, it's not like a dirty song. You know what I mean? It's just talking about like superstitions and stuff like that. And then obviously like towards the tail end of the song, we really start kind of getting crazy with everything. But everything still comes back to that like superstitious theme, which is so smart. It's great writing. You can't tell me it's not. Like, even if you don't like love the style of which the song comes out as, like, being able to write in that way is so smart. It's so good. The run after Hand on Mine. Oh, are you kidding me? Taylor Swift, I need more runs. Like, I need more screams. I need more runs. And maybe this is like, actually, I don't need that, because then I'll be like, oh, we get this all the time. I don't know. I don't know how it would be, but it really is like one of my favorite sounds. And the knock on wood, the production, the sounds, everything about the song is really just so good. Even if, like I said, maybe not my personal favorite on the album, it is still a great song. And I'll listen to it so like happily. This is not like, oh, I guess I have to. No, this is a great song. I said that the theme that is mostly explored in Opalite about like choosing to make your own happiness shows up again and again in a lot of these songs, right? So like if you choose to see it, and this is what I mean, like not understanding is fine, but choosing to blatantly ignore something kind of feels a little weird to me, which is like choosing to see someone trying to attack you as sweet, choosing to not need to be superstitious because you got like what you need in this life, like choosing not to hold on to all of your past trauma just because something is like going good and you're scared it might go away. Like again, a lot of like choice and a lot of choosing. To see the good in all the situations that come simply because your partner is someone who brings you so much happiness that you can attack all these other areas of your life with this positivity and optimism, which is something I relate to a lot. Honestly, I have been with my husband now for a total of 13 years, and it's like, he truly loves me and he sees me for who I am in all areas of who I am. Like we have been through a lot together, the good and the bad. He has seen me at all those stages. And I've watched him live life in a way that is so different than the way that my brain works and the way that I operate. And it is so amazing to see that. And he has like inherently changed me for the better. And to know that you have like a rock and a solid space and something that is just like so solid, it's like it can't be disrupted because you're both doing the work on it and you know that you have each other. You really can go into these other areas of life and really attack them in a different way. And I don't mean attack bad, but I just mean like go for it, to like have the audacity to be so optimistic. It's really a choice. And again, like if you can just you don't have to have someone, you can choose to have that for yourself. But if you do have someone who brings you that groundedness and that kind of like, we're going through life together, it really will be such a beautiful thing because for so many reasons, but again, just to be able to live life with knowing that you have this one solid thing. And so it just brings you all this confidence to move into all these other areas of life yeah, it's huge. Her bringing in New Heights feels more official than if the girl had just said Travis. I don't know why, but New Heights, manhood. I was like, oh, they're endgame. I don't know. I knew that before, but like her singing New Heights and then her going on the podcast and all of that was, yeah, my girl's in it. She's in it bad. I said, I don't know. It all just means so much. And I love it. As for the cheekiness of the magic wand and the redwood tree and all the things, I think it's cute and I think it's funny and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But it's just that Sabrina has done this so much that it's really hard for me not to compare what Taylor did with this song directly to what Sabrina does. It feels a little like Taylor's trying to replicate what Sabrina does well versus Taylor just being herself and writing the way that she normally does. Like this is very clearly a departure from normal Taylor Swift songwriting. And so, yeah, I think it's great to be influenced. And I think, Sabrina's a huge figure in pop culture, especially now. But I think Sabrina does it very well. And so it is hard for me to kind of see Taylor try to take a step into that realm. Even though I think that she brings her artistic ability and her genius to it. I just really hope like we kind of leave this song where it is as like a one-off thing that she felt inspired to do because of her, not like we're moving in this direction. Because it's just Sabrina does it. She does it well. And I don't think we need to try to copy that. But anyways, yeah, this run of songs is very, very good. She does such a good job on this album. I think of incorporating like the theme of happiness and choice. And those songs reflect that. They reflect that so much, especially these three. And kind of, I always come back to Opalite. Like, I feel like Opalite is like the star of that theme. And then all these other songs can kind of touch base on what that theme is and its choice. And it's choosing happiness and all that life brings you. We made it through another one. We only have one more of these left and I have some big thoughts about the last 3 songs, wildly different opinions from each song. So I cannot wait to get into that. And to close up this chapter of the in-depth review of the life of a showgirl, it has been one of my favorite things. I say it all the time, but thank you so much. Like, this means so much to me to be able to do this. And the fact that my channel has now become monetized because people care about my thoughts about Taylor Swift is just like kind of insane to me. I've reached a milestone with this that for 10 years I haven't been able to achieve. And it is only because that you guys cared enough to listen and to watch and to comment, to share it if you shared it with others, to bring others into this community. And yeah, that means a lot to me. I'm not going to lie. I thank you guys so much. Happy to have more like very nice discourse about all of this in the comments. And I can't wait to see you guys there and to see you next week where we will talk about the last 3 tracks of the life of a showgirl. Bye.